Hi everyone. I am excited to share how AI tools are making Jakarta development faster and easier. I am Gaurav Gupta, a senior software engineer and tech lead at Para Services Limited. I am Apache NetBeans committer and Dream Team member. And I am also creator of JADIC tool, which is a Jakarta development platform and AI assistant tool in Apache NetBeans IDE. So the agenda of this session is I will create a Jakarta EE application. So this is a completely a live coding session. And before deep diving in ID, I will go through the traditional tools on which Jakarta developer have relied on over the years. So the project generator and archetypes are scaffolding tools to create the application, but they depends on set of templates. Visual designers are used to design DB schema or UI layout, but they are not context aware, so every placement is manual. ID autocompletions are a really good and useful tool in ID, but they are limited to a set of syntax suggestion for APIs in ID. Manual test case and documentations are quite essential, but they consume a lot of development time. So if we add AI powered solution to these tools, so there is some set of limitation with these tools like adaptability, context awareness. So if we add AI powered solution to these tools, what will happen? So let's see. So project generator with AI driven approach become adaptive generator. It means it can decide the content of dynamic content of web pages like bootstrap icon, title, description, so on. Visual designer with AI driven approach become context aware designer. It means visual designer can be operated with natural language command. Archetype can be simply replaced with natural language command, AI agents. And ID autocompletion with AI driven approach become smarter autocompletion. So it can go beyond syntax suggestion and help you in suggesting a real world useful snippet in the ID. AI-driven test case and documentations are quite helpful, gonna save a lot of development time. So it enforces you to code smarter, not harder, and removing the tedious and repetitive tasks from the coding and workflow. So the tool I'm gonna use to create the Jakarta applications are Para Starter and the JADIC AI Assistant. So Para Starter is a web tool you can use to create Jakarta application, and it uses ER diagram with the AI powered solution to craft the application, to design the application in the web. And JADIC AI Assistant is a AI assistant in the Apache NetBeans IDE, which can be used in the IDE to design the application, to create, build the application, to connect your database with the AI assistant, to review your code before you commit the changes in your repository. So, first have a look on start.para.fish, which is Para Starter. There are many options are available, like creating microfile applications and secure applications. So I will select the build option, Maven, and the default group ID. And for artifact ID, we'll choose Para Conference. And the Jakarta version, Jakarta 810. All these I will go with the default. My default JDK is 17. I will choose that. I will go to diagram, ER diagram options. So this is the AI powered solution here. I will click on diagram builder and live preview. And here, whatever the context I'm going to type, like if I type conference and press enter. So behind the scene, it will suggest me a ER diagram related to conference. You see, I got some suggestion. This have registration, speaker, attendee, session, and conference. And so based on this context, I can further enhance this diagram. Like in the speaker, there is no email field. Yeah, so I will ask add email to speaker. So with this way, I can chat directly with this ER diagram and continue update this diagram in this editor. So we got email here, and I can also update those entities directly on the left side. And there is one more button, expand diagram. So this is really helpful when you don't have a lot of domain knowledge in a specific area. If you just click on expand this diagram, then behind the scene, AI will use this existing context and expand it to the next level with more entities. You see, I pressed the expand button and it added more and more context, all related to the conference. So you see, it got expanded a lot with venue, sponsor, conference. If I press again, it gonna expand further. So I will go back to basic one, the smallest one, and create the application using it. So now I press the generate button, and behind the scene, it is again using the AI to decide the relationship of JPA, the naming of JPA relationship between those attributes. It's going to decide the web pages content, what bootstrap icon each entities should have, uh, the description of those web pages and title and so on. So a lot of things going to be generated behind the scene, although it is a mix of archetype and the dynamic AI usage with the mix of archetype. So the application is generated here. I got in my system. I will extract to conference, and I will start the Para server instance. Very easy to start. MVN install Para server dev. So this is a Para server man plugin which is working behind the scene and start in dev mode. I will open this project in the IDE. So in the source, I should have got some JPA classes mapped to the ER diagram entities and related JAX RS REST endpoints, service classes, repositories, and so on, the web front-end pages, all of the source code here. So these are the entities which I have designed here, if you can map. These are REST endpoints. Okay, sometime AI can get confused with multiple fields. Like if we continue enhance this diagram, and it may add some duplicate fields that need to be filtered out. So that's the thing. If you design the diagram, you have to manually review if there are specific to context field or relations. There are no unnecessary relationships should be there. So all things, if gonna use in a production, all you have to all verify. So there is one duplicate field which got generated. I have removed it and recompiling again. So in the dev mode, when I start the dev mode, it will look for the background usage of any modification in the ID, and it will continue redeploy in case of any modification found in the ID. And it will also start the AI agent for the Para server, and with the help of AI agent, I can communicate with the Para server, fetch some states from the Para server. Like I can get help of creating as admin commands directly, like listing all JDBC connection pools or creating the connection pools. Yeah, so the application got started, and these are the entities which were related to the diagram, and each got some their bootstrap icon, and all have some description. I can create all those things here, and there are some pages all added generated using the AI. And if I ask list JDBC connections. So now it's going to use AI agent behind the scene, and we'll learn what as admin commands Paraserver have, or what REST domains, REST endpoints Paraserver expose for statics. So it learned and executed the list JDBC connection pools command. If I ask show me current memory usage, so behind the scene, the AI agent will learn from the existing states which is exposed by the Para server, and use those states to get the information whatever I am typing here. So now behind the scene, it is firing this endpoint and getting some information based on my query. Or I can take help of like create JDBC connection pool for Oracle DB. So this is actually a write-only command. So AI agent will not run any write-only command. It will only run the read-only command. So for the write-only command, you will get the help, and you can execute manually as per your wish. So now it gonna find through all of the JDBC, all of the ascending commands, and will guide you the best possible option based on your query. So I can use this command, enhance this, and create the JDBC connection pool. So this is about AI agent working with the Paraserver Man plugin, and I have created the application here with the AI. So this is about the Parastarter, and let's move to Jedict AI Assistant in the Apache NetBeans IDE. So the AI assistant in Apache NetBeans IDE can help you in multiple ways, from designing the application and from creating the test cases, from code review, and building the application itself. So to install the Jedict AI Assistant, you just need to go Tools, Plugins, and search for the Jedict AI Assistant, and you can install it. Once it is installed, just go to Tools, Options, and here you see a Jedict AI Assistant settings, and here you can connect any provider. Like I have connected with the OpenAI provider. There are multiple options available here. And once I selected OpenAI provider, there are multiple models you can pick. Right now I have picked GPT 4.1 mini, and I entered the key here. And here is the provider setting. So this is some kind of LLM4J parameters. If you want to further tune the AI, you can use this to customize the HTTP calls, which is running behind the scene. So I have selected OpenAI GPT 4.1 mini, and I will save it. Now I will create one project. I will name it school management, for example. And once this will be initialized, yeah. So once this will be initialized, I will initialize the Git here to track the changes. And now I will design this project here in the IDE. Earlier I have used Parastarter to design the project. So so these are the chat options here I'm going to use to design the application. So here I will ask create plant UML diagram. So there are multiple diagrams supported here. One of them is plant UML and mermaid diagram. So here I will ask create plant UML diagram for school management. And in the Parastarter, the format you have seen is this is a mermaid diagram. And plant UML is very standard format to design the UMLs. So here I got yeah. So here I got the plant UML diagram for school management with some entities like school, student, teacher, course, and enrollment. And the best thing is I can view the diagram directly in the IDE. I can design it, refine it the way I want. So like here I got 5 entities: school, enrollment, teacher, student, course. For a student, I'm thinking to have a separate name, first name and last name. So I will directly edit this diagram in the source to two attributes. One is first name and second is last name. And I can visualize it here. You see first name and last name is visible here. Now I want to further enhance this diagram. Like I want to add play group to this diagram. So the AI assistant will recognize the manual changes I have done to this diagram, plus will use my query to further enhance this diagram in the IDE. So here I got playgroup. I asked for playgroup to add the new class here, and I have earlier tweaked the student class with first name and last name instead of name. So those changes are still here. So now I can create the application, the Jakarta application, with the help of this diagram. So I'm gonna make it very simple. So I will say, make it simple with student and school. So there are two variant in chat options. One is simply chat, which is ask here. Another is build tool, which is quite of experimental AI agent, which can help you to kickstart the new project in the ID. Instead of just showing the source code, it can create all those files in the project directly. So I will ask here, create. I have selected build mode here in the chat, and I will ask create JPA classes, repositories, repository classes, service classes, and JAX-RS endpoint, right, for this diagram. So now it's gonna use this simplified diagram, create the JPA classes and all those things, and will update the project here in the source folder. So behind the scene, it is running. I will show you some other examples, uh, some other diagram examples. With the help of plant UML, you can design your project with some other diagrams too. Like I will say, so plant UML samples like. So here I asked some other diagram which I can use to design my project, like component, timing, or object diagram. So it's gonna design those things, those sample you can view here. You can further use this diagram. You can enhance directly in the chat and create, design your project in the first very early stage. And based on the design, you can create, you can generate the classes, your software component based on those design. So here, let's go back to the original chat, which I was using to create the application for this school management system, and it generated some source file, JPA classes, and all those all got generated here in the ID. If you see here, we got school student JPA classes in the ID, the JPA classes, repositories, and REST endpoints, and the service classes, right? I will commit these changes. Now we have seen how to create application with the help of just a simple layout diagram. You can try, even if you have some layout in your any paper, you can drop the image in the chat and ask to create a diagram from that image, and it will work, create the complete application with just a single image from the ID itself. So this is about how you can use chat to set up the new project. But what if you have some existing class? Like if I create a one class, a person, how can I use AI assistant directly in the editor itself? So this is the person class I have created. And if I press enter here, it gonna suggest me some code, some possible code here in the editor. Uh, like it suggested me first name, last name, age. So this is the inline hint I am using to generate the code by pressing enter in any source file. Or I can use auto completion using control plus space. So it's gonna suggest me some source code with the auto completion feature of NetBeans. Yeah. So it suggested me some 3 attributes and their getter, setter, constructor, and all those things. You see, I got the first name, last name, age using the auto completion. But the main thing is here, I am not actually driving. AI assistant is suggesting me, which I don't want. I want to drive. I want to on the front seat of this AI assistant to guide AI what I want to generate. So the first thing I can do is use the existing code to suggest me the next possible line of code. Like if I use first name attribute here, and if I press enter, it gonna suggest me uh, next possible line of code, which is last name. Yeah, after first name it comes last name, so it suggested me last name instead of any random code. Other possible way to guide the AI what need to be generated is just simply typing comments. Like if I type comments, return full name, and it's gonna suggest me a function with the full name. Or I can write simply Java doc, return sort name, and it's gonna suggest me a sort name for the person. So this is the way I can guide the AI. But these comments are small, helpful. But what if I have long instructions and I want to generate the source code and guide the AI? I cannot type comments every time in the editor. So you can create a prompt here in the settings. In the settings, I have created one prompt, get set. I named it get set, and in the instructions I have given generate getter setter no arc constructor equals hash code to string methods. And if I use this prompt in the editor itself, if I type / get set and press enter, now AI assistant will use this prompt information to generate the uh, code which is related to these instructions. And the instructions was generate no argument constructor getter setter equals hash code to string. And I can further customize this prompt on the fly. Like I want to use getter, I want to generate getter and setter with builder pattern. So I can add some custom information on the fly with builder pattern. Now it's gonna generate getter and setter with builder pattern. So there is some custom information I passed on top of the prompt. So you see, it generated as usual the getter setter equals hash code and the builder pattern. So I customized my prompt directly in the IDE with some custom instructions. So you can actually guide the AI what need to be actually generated in the editor without using any chat window. And I can use this prompt further to transform this class. Like if I want to generate a JAX-RS class for this Pojo class, so I have created one prompt. I named it REST, and there is a lot of instructions here in this. This is normal, a plain English, nothing a specific format to define the instructions. So what I said, you are an API server that generate JAX-RS RESTful resource class for a given Pojo class, generate CRUD operations like create, read, update, delete, generate total count records, generate search functions, create support for pagination, support for sorting, support for proper usage of HTTP status, path and query parameter for flexible querying, support for JSON request and response, and follow best practices, which is compatible with Jakarta standard. So I am saving this prompt. And now I will use the REST prompt to generate, to transform this Pojo class to the REST endpoint. So I will name it person resource.java, and my source is person Pojo class. Right, and the prompt I will select REST, and I can add some other information, but I don't need this time. So it's gonna use this prompt, REST prompt, and transform this class to the another class. You can use this prompt to generate like REST endpoint or Boolean test cases for any classes. You need to write the prompt and transform it. So it generated the REST endpoint for person with the as instructions I have given, like create, read, update, delete, count, list. I mean pagination support, full pagination support you see here, and yeah. So all these instructions it followed and generated me the source code based on my prompting in the IDE. So now I will create another class. I will name it email builder, which will be used to send the email uh, when person registers. So I will type a comment, send email to person using Jakarta email. Now it will suggest me some source code. Yeah, it suggested me some source code to send the email using the Jakarta API. Now, what I want to create the subject and body here in this function, and later on I will use microprofile config to fetch the subject and body. So now, if I ask for sample subject here directly, it is right now it will be hard coded. Later on I will move. So it is suggesting me if person is not null, use person dot get name. So you see here AI is just guessing what functions it can have, and it is suggesting me there should be get name function in the person class, but actually person have first name and last name. So how we can resolve pass the context to the AI about the person? So we can define the scope of file which we can select. So there are four scope: current class, reference class, current package, and entire package. So if we select reference class, so it will use all those reference class signature, not the source code, but only the public method signature. Uh, Now the AI will be aware about the signature of those classes, the public method or attribute signatures. So if I select reference class, and I will revert and again ask for the subject. Okay, so now you see I got person dot get first name and person dot get last name. So now AI is aware that the person class have this signature, uh, the first name and the last name. So it is suggesting me the most correct code which it can have here. The same for the body. If I ask for the suggestion what email body could be here in this function, it's gonna suggest me some samples. I can select any of them. Like I will select the first one here. So it is suggesting me person dot get first name because it is using the signature of this referenced attribute and then generating the body. Now, if I do some grammatical mistake here, I can fix those things with the AI assistance here. Hint: fix grammar issue using assistance. You see, it is fixed. Or I can enhance the text quality if there is some error in the text code, or I can insert or suggest any text, plain text in between the string. So it's gonna suggest me some samples what the email body could have been improved with new message. You see here, or in the mid of a sentence, it will suggest me some possible next line. Earlier I have used Java doc or comment to create the function, and the same I can use current function to generate the Java doc using assistance. So I will click hint create Java doc for method using assistance. It will create the Java doc for this method, and I can further enhance if there is existing Java doc, or I can further enhance existing Java doc for the method. So it will gonna add more in-depth detail to this function, you see. And I can use AI assistance to rename the method with multiple naming options which I can get using the auto completion. So now it is suggesting me some different name for these functions, like send account, update email, send email to person, like that. Or I can directly refactor this attribute with different naming options which AI can suggest what it could be look like. Like I can select email subject, and for the email body I can get some options, uh, email content. So you see all the source code is updated uh, with the suggestion from the AI here. And I'm going to use Gmail host. So I will ask here AI to use Gmail host, enhance method with query. So I will use Gmail host. So it will update the method with the Gmail host. Although I don't prefer this way to update the functions directly, directly asking the AI without controlling myself. But yeah, this is this option available. But what I prefer is directly open this class in the chat using AI assistant. And here I will ask fetch email subject and content from microprofile config. So here it will suggest me the next possible code it can have using the microprofile config properties, and I will select bit by bit, line by line, what code I needed instead of directly replacing the complete code in the editor. I think there have been some Wi-Fi issue. It is disconnected in between. Yeah, so the code is generated. Now it is helping me with this dependency that I need to apply in the pom.xml. I will paste this. Although there are multiple ways, I can directly ask in the POM to add microprofile config like inline editor in the Java class. I can use inline editor in the pom.xml itself. And I can save this microprofile config properties in the resource folder. And here I got the Java class, which I will differentiate with the actual origin source. So I will say diff email builder, and it's gonna suggest me the next possible bits I want to take from this suggestion. So I will pick bit by bit. Yes, I requested for the microprofile config properties. I will pick those. I will remove these hard-coded message with the dynamic replaced values. Yes. And now I will get back to the original source code. Yeah, I got those changes, and all those hard-coded changes are now removed from this email builder class. So this way you can chat with the AI assistant and pick step by step the code you want to take, not directly replacing the source code in your ID. So in the chat there are some kind of scope or rules that is available. Uh, like if I want my response in French, so I can define at a global rule that respond in French. So by meaning of global rules, it will work across different project. Like if I say create sample Java program, so now it's gonna reply me in the French language. You see, I got the response in the French. I will just revert back to my default one. Okay, so this is the global rule which will apply to all project, everything. And in the same way, I can set up some rules for my project. Like I want to use Spring Boot or Jakarta EE or microprofile config or some kind of best practices I'm following. I can define at the project level. And whenever I will have some queries which is related to project context, it will work, will follow those rules from here. Or I can define my rule at the chat level, which is a session rule, and it will work for across all different threads. So uh, so this is about rule. You can define your custom rules, and it gonna follow those best practices based on whatever the rule you're gonna define. And there are two files type like scope. I will close all these files. So if I select AI assistant at project level, so it's gonna have a scope for all the file behind the scene. It's gonna use all those source code. If I select AI assistant at package level, it's gonna have a scope for all those classes at the package level. Or I can very picky select some specific set of file on which I want to work, and I want to ask some queries on those files. Like I want to work on school and school repository. And now if I ask AI assistant, so now in the chat it gonna always use the context of school and school repository, but for some special message, like in some message I also need a person class, so I can directly drop the person class. So now it's gonna use these three classes. So if, for example, if I say list all classes, so just to show you what context it's gonna use. So this time it's gonna use these three classes: school, school repository, and person. Now the context is gone for the person, because it was the part of previous message here, list all classes. And in the next message, if I again ask list all classes, now it have only session context for school and repository. Yeah, so now it is listing only school and repository, because this is the permanent session context on which chat have been started. Or I can directly start my session context based on the single class from the editor itself. So I have done some changes. I will commit it. And before committing, I want to make sure my changes are very well reviewed by AI assistants. Then in the PR, my other colleague can comment some flaw if they found. So like I am intentionally adding one flaw here, adding ID here. So now I will ask AI assistant to review my code. So with this code review feature, it will use git diff functionality uh, and review my code. So I can select the balance, the depth of review, like high, low, or mid review with the balance. I can select set of file which I want to review. So this part will actually review only based on the git diff changes. And actually, if I ask only for school, let's see. I will close other file too. So if I ask for school, here it suggested me multiple ID annotation on the entity field and some other suggestion I got. If I click on the school, here I got one highlight about this suggestion, one warning and one suggestion. Warning is multiple ID annotation on entity field, and other suggestion is avoiding null reference. So if I click on the multiple ID annotation on entity field, I can ask what need to be fixed in the next chat window. So it's gonna suggest me what next possible code you can use to fix this error, fix this warning or suggestion. So it suggested me uh, just remove the ID here. Yeah, right. So I will remove it here. And now I can ask, I can commit, and before committing, if I want some kind of commit message help, so you can just ask what commit message it could be related to. All those git diff will be analyzed and used uh, to add the commit message. So I will commit this. Right. Now I have a database, H2 database in my ID, and which is a memory database. So there is no table here, and I can connect it with the AI assistant. Like if I open AI assistant for the database, you see the title is H2 database, and I can create a class for person. I can create a table for person. So I just drop the person class here, and I will ask create DB table for person. So it's gonna suggest me DB table for the person, because this is an empty database as of now. So it suggested me this query. I will run this query here, execute command. I will close this as of now. Yeah, so I will run this query here to create the person table. Now the person table is created. Now I will ask insert 10 samples for person. Now it's gonna suggest me some SQL queries to insert 10 samples for the person table. Yeah, I got the data, And I will again run this, all inserted. Now I will ask uh, fetch person which start with J character. Right. Now it's gonna suggest me some queries, some SQL query uh, for this scenario. Even I can ask auto completion here uh, to fetch some list of queries, not just the single query. With the hint option, you will always get single query, but with the auto completion, you will see multiple options here for the same query with different variation. Right? I will use this one and run. I got Jane and John for the data inserted. And if I use AI assistant for the DB, I have option here to actually create the application from the DB itself. Like in the DB, there is a table, a person which I created earlier. And it have these three attributes. So if I ask create JSF application for person, so it's gonna use a database schema and create the application based on that context of the selected database schema. And as of now, I'm actually ask mode, so it's gonna just show me the code, not generating in the project. But if I select build mode, it will help me to actually generate the source code directly in the project itself. So it suggested me JSF managed bean, JSF pages. Yeah, I got all the source code here in the chat. Now, if you have some restriction to run your IDE AI assistant on your specific provider, I can use a local LLM provider. So I will start Olama. Right now I have two model here. One is DeepSeek R1 1.1 1.5 billion parameter, which is very, very smallest size, 1.1 GB. So I will run this model, start this model. Okay, so this model is will be started, and yeah, I can now ask any question. Now I will connect in the ID, go to the providers and select Olama. Now it is showing me the model I have here, and I can select 1.5 billion parameter. And now if I ask create hello world Java program. So now behind the scene, it's gonna use a DeepSeek 1.5 billion model to run my queries. But there is one issue with these models. You need a high-end machine, because this small model is running in my laptop, but will not suggest some relevant code in the ID. You're gonna need some good model in good infra and shared with set of peoples or employee in a company. So that gonna really helpful for you to run those model and directly use in the ID in a private environment. So yeah, I got all those suggestions with the help of Olama model here, DeepSeek model here in the ID. Yeah, so this is all about the AI assistant and AI agent tool. Earlier I have used Para Starter to design the application in the web, and here in the ID I used another AI tool, Jedict AI assistant, to design the application, uh, to build the application, to code review it, to connect with the DB, and there are many scope. You can actually design your documentation here. Like if I ask in the markdown format, show me JDK installation doc in markdown format. I need to change the model. So here I asked for the some sample documentation for JDK, and even if you want to create some documentation for your project, you can customize those things. You can ask for create the documentation in markdown format and directly edit in the in this chat and refine it like the diagram. You can edit the diagram, refine it, and it's gonna use all those detailing. So here I got the markdown format, and here is the source. I can edit the source here. I can add more details, and it will be visible here. And I can further enhance, use the AI assistants to further create the documentation for the project in the IDE itself. Yeah, that's all about the AI assistant and tooling for the Jakarta EE. Thank you, everyone.